Alright, let's dive into our first topic, exploring the concept of Earth's rotation and its impact on the daily cycle of daylight and darkness, ultimately leading to the establishment of time zones. Now, as you may know, Earth rotates on its axis, taking approximately 24 hours to complete a full rotation. This rotation is the primary reason we experience the daily cycle of daylight and darkness. When a particular side of the Earth faces the sun, it receives sunlight, resulting in daytime. Conversely, when Earth rotates and that same side faces away from the sun, it becomes nighttime. But imagine if there were no time zones and we all followed the same time. It would mean that when it's noon in one part of the world, it could be the middle of the night in another. That doesn't make much sense, does it? So, in order to create a more organized and consistent system for measuring time, we needed to establish time zones. Time zones are essentially a way to divide the Earth into 24 equal sections, each representing 1 hour of the day. This division helps us keep track of time based on the Earth's rotation and keeps our daily routines in sync with the natural cycle of daylight and darkness. Pretty neat, huh? So, now that we've covered the basic concept of Earth rotation and how it led to the establishment of time zones, let's move on to the next topic. Moving on to our second topic, let's investigate the role of longitude lines in dividing the Earth into different time zones. As I mentioned earlier, time zones are a way to divide the Earth into 24 equal sections, each representing 1 hour of the day. But how exactly are these divisions made? That's where longitude lines come into play. Longitude lines, sometimes referred to as meridians, are imaginary lines that run vertically around the Earth, from the North Pole to the South Pole. They help us measure the Earth's surface in degrees, with the prime meridian of 0 degrees longitude serving as the starting point. The Earth has a total of 360 degrees of longitude, and since there are 24 hours in a day, each time zone is approximately 15 degrees of longitude wide. Makes sense, right? These 15-degree divisions ensure that the time in each zone is closely aligned with the Earth's rotation, resulting in a more consistent and accurate system for measuring time across the globe. As you travel east or west from the prime meridian, you'll either add or subtract an hour from your local time for every 15 degrees of longitude you cross. In summary, longitude lines play a crucial role in dividing the Earth into different time zones. By using these lines to create 15-degree wide sections, we can better synchronize our clocks and daily routines with the natural cycle of daylight and darkness. Now that we've covered the role of longitude lines, let's move on to the fascinating history of timekeeping. Now, let's delve into the fascinating history of timekeeping. Throughout human history, we've always had a need to measure time, whether for practical purposes like agriculture or for religious and social reasons. This pursuit has led to a long and diverse history of timekeeping methods and devices. Ancient civilizations such as the Egyptians and Babylonians developed some of the earliest timekeeping devices like sundials and water clocks. Sundials were simple yet effective tools that used the position of the sun to cast a shadow on a marked surface, with the shadow's position indicating the time of day. Water clocks, on the other hand, measured time through the regulated flow of water from one container to another. As time progressed, so did our methods of timekeeping. During the Middle Ages, mechanical clocks began to appear, using intricate systems of gears and weights to measure time. The invention of the pendulum clock in the 17th century further improved the accuracy of timekeeping. However, it wasn't until the 20th century that we saw the development of truly precise timekeeping devices, atomic clocks. These modern marvels use the vibrations of atoms to measure time with incredible accuracy, allowing us to keep track of time down to the tiniest fractions of a second. Throughout history, our advancements in timekeeping have gone hand in hand with our understanding of the world around us, including the Earth's rotation and the need for time zones. It's fascinating to think about how far we've come. from relying on the sun's position in the sky to using atomic vibrations for measuring time. With this historical context in mind, let's move on to our next topic: understanding the role of the international dateline in maintaining a consistent global timekeeping system. All right, let's move on to our fourth topic: understanding the role of the international dateline in maintaining a consistent global timekeeping system. Now, as we discussed, time zones help ensure that our clocks are in sync with the Earth's rotation and the natural cycle of daylight and darkness. However, things can get a bit more complicated when it comes to keeping track of calendar dates, especially when traveling across the globe. Enter the International Dateline, or IDL. This imaginary line runs from the North Pole to the South Pole and roughly follows the 180-degree longitude line directly opposite the prime meridian. It serves as a boundary that separates two consecutive calendar dates, ensuring that we have a consistent global timekeeping system. When you cross the international dateline, you either gain or lose a day, depending on which direction you're traveling. If you're heading eastward, you would subtract a day from your calendar. Conversely, if you're traveling westward, you would add a day. This adjustment is necessary to account for the differences in local time as you travel around the globe, ultimately ensuring that the entire world maintains a consistent system for measuring time and dates. It's important to note that the international dateline isn't a straight line. It zigzags around certain land masses and political borders to avoid splitting countries or territories into different calendar dates. This helps minimize any potential confusion or disruptions to daily life. So, in summary, the international dateline plays a vital role in maintaining a consistent global timekeeping system. By serving as a boundary between two consecutive calendar dates, it helps us navigate the complexities of time and date keeping as we travel around the world. With that covered, let's move on to our final topic: examining the impact of time zones on daily life. Finally, let's examine the impact of time zones on daily life, specifically focusing on how they affect travel, communication, and international business operations. Time zones are an essential part of our daily lives, and understanding their implications can help us navigate various aspects of our modern world. First, let's talk about travel. Have you ever experienced jet lag? That feeling of being out of sync with your body's natural rhythm is a direct result of crossing multiple time zones during a flight. As you travel across these time zones, your body's internal clock struggles to adjust to the local time at your destination. This can result in sleep disturbances, fatigue, and even digestion issues. Being aware of time zones and planning your activities accordingly can help you minimize the effects of jet lag and make your trip more enjoyable. Next, we have communication. In today's interconnected world, we often find ourselves communicating with friends, family, and colleagues across different time zones. Understanding the impact of time zones on our daily schedules is crucial for coordinating calls, meetings, and other forms of communication. It ensures that we're not accidentally waking someone up in the middle of the night or missing an important deadline. Finally, let's discuss international business operations. Primary time zones play a significant role in the global economy, as businesses must coordinate their activities across different regions and countries. This can include managing supply chains, scheduling meetings, and even determining working hours for employees. Being mindful of time zones is essential for businesses to operate efficiently and maintain strong relationships with partners and clients around the world. In conclusion, time zones have a substantial impact on our daily lives, affecting everything from travel and communication to international business operations. By understanding the role of time zones and their implications, we can better navigate our interconnected world and make the most of our global opportunities.